Hi there. Welcome. Welcome to the Well Dressed Weekly Show, where we help women unleash their inner style icon. My name is Afton Porter. I'm a fashion stylist, life coach, hostess of the Style Icon Mindset podcast, and founder of the Style Guide Society, where we help women build iconic personal brands so that they can exude confidence and have extraordinary style. Our mission is to help you show up powerfully in your life and business like never before. And we typically have been doing this on Tuesday nights for a while now. Announcement though, we're going to start next week. We're going to have a new name for the show, and we're going to start coming in on Wednesday morning. So, woo, next week, be looking for us for the show Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so that's going to be the new time starting next week. All right. So if you are watching live, please present yourself, say hello. If you're watching the replay, do hashtag style icon. Let us know that you're here and where you're watching from. Today, we're going to be talking about personal brands. What is a personal brand? Because we talk about helping women build iconic personal brands. And I want you to know that sometimes when we think of a personal brand, we're thinking of an actual company. And what we're talking about when we say we help women build personal brands, we're talking about not only logos, not only colors, not only brand messages, taglines, fonts and colors and those things. Okay. Those are important for personal brands. And they may or may not pertain to your personal brand. Okay. But if you have a business that you are CEO of, that you're running, you consider yourself an entrepreneur, you would want to have those things, right? But let's say maybe you don't have a physical brand or service that you're offering on your own. Maybe you're a contractor. Maybe you offer freelance services. Maybe you are working for a corporate company that you're wanting to get a promotion from. Maybe you are in direct sales where you're selling directly, multi-level marketing. Maybe you are a photographer, right? You're out there doing your thing, but you might not consider yourself like a full-time employee to yourself or another company. You still have a personal brand. So we're going to cover all the things. All right. Not all today, but inside this group, as we are helping you build your iconic personal brand, I want you to understand that we're going to be talking about your expertise in your area of study, your personality in your area of study, your experience that you have. Okay. And why on earth do we need to have a personal brand? Personal branding, whether you're talking about over here, all the logos and colors and fonts, or you're over here talking about expertise, personality, experience, we are in this area. The whole purpose of personal branding is to differentiate you from other people who might want your services, from other people, so that they can find you. And if somebody is looking for a copywriter, or they're looking for a designer, or they're looking for, a certain product that you might be selling. Maybe they're looking for essential oils. Maybe they're looking for hair products. Maybe they're looking for, a company who does resale. Your personal branding is going to differentiate you from everybody else who does the exact same thing you do. And the way that you do it, the way that you talk about it, your personal framework of the way that you do what you do is your personal brand. And I think sometimes we get confused with that because we think of iconic brands and we think of their logo, we think of their taglines. And that's great because that is important. But it's not everything that is encompassing a personal brand. In fact, you might not even have colors. Maybe your personal brand doesn't have a specialized font or logo, and that's okay. If you're in an area where you don't need it, you're a freelancer, you're a stylist who works for a specific company and they keep you busy where you don't have a website, you don't have all the things, though I would still recommend you do, but you may not yet, and that's okay. But who you are, your expertise, your particular style is going to separate you from others in your same area. Okay, so that is why it's so important that you have a good idea. Even if you don't consider yourself a contractor, you don't consider yourself a freelancer, you still have a personal brand. And so, for example, if you are currently working for somebody, how you show up to your work, how your personal style. Remember, we talk about style is not just what you wear, it's how you do things, it's who you are being. The way that you do it is your style. And that is part of your personal branding. Okay. And when you take that and you speak about certain things and you're laying your line in the sand that you believe and not that, you believe this and not that. This is how we do it. And it's going to be different than how they do it over here. This is what you believe. Maybe other people in the industry believe this. So you're carving that space. You're carving that line that makes you different and why they want to choose you. And I was coaching with some brands yesterday, and I had to remind them, this is important. Your tagline's important. Your colors are important. Your brand differentiation is important. But one thing that I want to remind you today is don't let it stop you if you don't have exactly what you want. Because when you have it right, you're going to feel it. You're going to want to scream it from the fountaintops. It feels so good inside when you have the right messaging, everything just aligned with how you feel, and it's on paper and you're like, yes, this is it. But until you get there, until you actually get to that place, I don't want you to stew about it because, we stress about how important it is to have all this information, right? And then I know that you're sitting there going, is this the most effective way? Is this going to bring more clients? Am I doing this right? Is this absolutely perfect? Because I cannot move forward until I have all my ducks in a row. Maybe you need to learn, you might be saying, I need to learn a little bit about this more before I take action. And though I don't really like the term messy action, though I think that the imagery that it creates is totally appropriate. Taking action messy action, even if it doesn't feel perfect, even if you feel like, oh, I'm not doing this quite right, it's not going to read the right messaging, something's off. But by not taking any action at all is no bueno. Okay. You want to take messy action if it means not taking anything at all. Okay. Yes, those things are important. But what's more important is that you're taking the steps that's going to bring clarity in all of those areas. What's beautiful about your personal brand is that you're forever, it's almost like it's living. Well, it is living because you're living and it's your personal brand. And the more action you take, the more steps you take, the more that you actually do is actually going to bring clarity in, okay, this I did like, this I didn't. Or I've used this messaging and it's not quite bringing the right clients or customers to you. And so you need to switch it up to this and try that for a while and see how that fits, see how that feels, see if that brings the right people in. It's okay if getting some of this stuff right, perfect, takes some time. And that is okay. What I really like to say is to take inspired action. So you have messy action is when you're in that mode when you're like, I don't want to do anything at all. You just want to stop. And that's where people will get stuck. Don't allow yourself to stop or be stuck. And then you tell yourself, I'm going to take, Afton says, to take messy action. And that's better than taking no action. Okay. And it is. Take that messy action, honey, all day long until you get the inspired action that you know you need to take. So what's the messy action, inspired action? So messy action is, like I said, taking action when you feel like you don't have it right. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel perfect, but it's the best you can come up with. Okay. You take messy action. When you take inspired action, it's when you were working along after you've taken that messy action, right? So you're moving, you have some momentum, because how do you stop momentum, ladies? Remember, we talked about it. You build momentum by taking action, and you lose momentum by inaction. So you're taking action, you're taking messy action. And as you're going along, building your iconic personal brand, you get inspiration of what you need to do, what you need to say, how you can serve your clients or your customers better. Maybe you have an idea of what you can create for them. When you have this inspired action that you received and you feel great about that, then you take that action. Then you make changes to go towards that way. You're not making changes out of fear if you keep going what you're doing. You're not making changes because this isn't working, but you're making changes because you're like, this is what they really need. This is what I need to be doing now. If you're getting the feeling, this isn't working, let's try this, I would wait on that. It needs to be inspired that you're like, yes, this is what I'm feeling called to do now. Okay. So building your iconic personal brand, whether you are building your own business, you're an entrepreneur, you are designing, creating, styling, teaching, training, whatever business you have, or if you're a contractor, freelancer, or working for a corporate position and wanting to get promotion, take it to the next level, get a promotion, Or you're in direct sales where you're selling, and somebody else's product and you get, paid for that. These are all your personal brands. People are going to want to come to you for your product or services because of your experience, your personality, your expertise. You want to use that to differentiate yourself in your industry and show up powerfully as a style icon. All right. So if you have any questions about that, if you have a personal brand that you're like, Afton, I need your help, I need to meet with you, contact me, reach out. I would love to chat with you to see how I can help you. All right. Until next week, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we'll see you then. Have a good night.